This will be a like I said, this will be a sample combat scenario for us to start for our session zero, so y'all can kind of play around with your characters. Nothing in this matters, so if you die, you die. That's fine. You don't lose your character for real. It's just for fun for y'all just to practice, fighting against something that, you should be able to handle, and but you with being lower levels, you got to be really smart in how you combat things. So, all right, so all right, y'all are free to explore. If there's anything I'm going to make y'all stop to, I'll let you know. And yeah, that's it. For this, no, we're going to do that in the next thing when we actually like that. If you want to, you can. Like, if you want to kind of be like, hey, this is what my thing's going to do. This is what they're kind of capable of. Y'all are more than welcome to. Yep. So, Thea, as you walk across that thing of ice. Oh, sure. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go right ahead. Go right ahead. Uh, no, your thing is fine. You can say that. Yeah, you're a no, you're a Fey Wanderer Ranger. All right. So as you make your way across that ice, it feels a little sketchy, and it feels like it's starting to kind of give way, and as you do, it starts making a lot of noise, and the ice begins to kind of crack all along the edge of it. Yeah, just verbalize like, "Hey, I'm gonna jump across this," and then you're like, you notice the ice kind of begin to crack all along, but it makes just a hellacious noise more than anything. Uh, but that's all it does. It just makes a hellacious noise. Okay, it's probably smart. So you can, sounds good. All right. So after you hear that cracking sound that made a hellacious noise, you start hearing the loud sounds of thumping, booming, moving towards y'all's general direction. Coming from the east. Yeah. So you see something kind of running towards your general direction that looks like this. Yep. I got you. Yep. No. Yep. Yep. You have your pike equipped. And I just made sure that it's on. Yep. So you see this gigantic hulking thing make its way into y'all's general direction. Yes, I can. There's one right there. You'll also notice a little bit of a change in the combat tracker. You'll have a number to the right of your roll, and that'll be your dex. So if there's an event that someone has a tie, that will determine who's the tiebreaker based on your dexterity. So, and then Alvin, you have a initiative roll in your combat tracker, which is the two swords. Yeah, most excellent. So, Angie, you don't see anything presently, but you hear loud rumbling and bumping or stomping coming from your east, so to your right. The one directly to the south of you is pretty dense, like it's something that you could almost jump through. Okay, you are hidden. Sounds good. Okay, sounds good. All right, Sarissa. Sounds good. All right, so Alvin, you have a torch in your hand. Um, so where you go, it follows. Yeah. You didn't fall through it or anything, but you were just standing on it. It was just kind of cracking around your feet, but it wasn't like a trap that you were gonna fall through or anything. So you're good. Okay, so another thing that you can do if you hover over your thing and if you push and hold the click on your mouse button, it'll actually do like a ping. So like for example, you see my sensor, if I push and hold it, you'll see a ping. So you just kind of point where you want it and I'll okay. All right. That's right. I see you just chunk it right there in the middle. All right. Okay. Sounds good. We just say that you chunked it when you were running in that direction, and then your shield was already in your hand, but you pulled your shield out when you or your sword out when you were walking. Yeah. Oh no, you're good. I'll say you chunked the torch. Once you heard screaming, you just chunked it in the direction you heard yelling, and then you started walking. And as you were walking down, you were able to draw your sword out because you can switch weapons when you're walking. So nope, I'm good with that. So yep, you got your war pick out. Yep, you're good. No worries. All right, so this thing's gonna move up and attack the thing that hit him with the poked him in the belly, but he missed. All right, end turn. Yep, you just hit the. You can hit on your bar like that, and it'll roll it damage. Let's see, there you go. There you go. That's it. Okay. Yep. Sounds good. I know what you meant. Yep. All right. The ogre's arm is going to proceed to, well, disregard that because it didn't roll disadvantage. Yep. So, um, all right. So the second one hits you and puts you down to 2 HP. But hey, at least you avoided the crit. Okay. So Namiya, you're up. It wouldn't work for that. So you can either double right click, you can hold T or hit T as you hover over it, and that'll target it. And then I don't remember. So you can let me make sure it didn't get messed up somehow code wise. Let me look. Let's see. 1d8 plus that normal, normal, one enemy. Okay, yeah, that should work. I'll do plus at mod. I'm gonna. Okay, there we go. All right, correct. That is correct. It is an action. So, you only needed one more. Hulk smash. Oh, it almost and by one. It's skinnier teeth, right? You missed by one. So yep, yep. So now in a normal combat scenario, after this, if y'all won, like in this regard, you did, I would divvy up experience points between all of you. Um, there would be 450 divvied up to you to be 90 each. But since this is not an actual true thing, I'm not going to assign it to y'all. But if I did, you'll actually see on your character sheet, it'll track your experience in the top right hand corner. Yeah, you'll see it'll say, like in yours, just below when you see how almost dead you are, it'll say 0 of 300. Yep. And then once you get 300, it'll glow for you to be able to actually level up. And then you just click a little arrow button, it'll level you up. So it's, uh, it's fun. So, yeah. The only thing it had on it was just a really big, heavy morning star. Yeah, and a pike sticking out of it. It'd be pretty big. It's a pretty big morning star. That's why it does 2d8, but it's also because it's heavy. DC, how much damage does that thing take? It's DC 5 plus 8. Okay. All right. So if y'all continue onward through that cave section, I'm going to show y'all a. Unfortunately, loot, the module for loot doesn't work anymore. And it makes me sad because it was really convenient. But I have a workaround. Um, so, for example, these sarcophagi, that if were going to search them, which someone do an investigation check. Yeah. So while you're looking around aimlessly, you'll see a one of the sarcophagi like slides open, and you can actually look inside of it, and you should see a chest on the screen that you can click on. Let me know if you see it. Okay, let me do this. Let's see. Okay, it shows that y'all all can see it. Let's see. Okay, so that's the one that y'all should be able to see it. I'll do this then. I'll do it this way. Let's see. Show to players. Show all. All right. So this is yeah, yeah, yeah. Now, if there are items in this that I can say you can or cannot have, so both of you, I think three people or two people clicked on the potion of healing. Anshi and Theo both clicked on the potion of healing. So technically, and in terms of priority, so So in terms of actual priority, I could say Lanchi grabbed it first or Theo grabbed it first, and I could award it to that person. So, or I can reject anyone from getting it, and then no one could get anything. But this is how I can divvy up loot, and then also same thing for currency. So you may see that it shows that there's 50 gold pieces inside the chest, and I can actually distribute that all to each, which I divvied up 10 gold pieces to everybody. Um, so yeah. Took it to the dome. Yeah. But so that's how kind of loot will work in terms of, if you're exploring the environment and I have things like that, I'll place that for y'all to be able to see. Also, if there are enemies that have loot, I'll do the same thing, that you'll be able to search their corpses and stuff. And I'll have, specific things for that. So, but at least gave y'all a little bit of a taste of, how to use your characters and kind of use them in a combat scenario. But All right. So now for the more story based aspect of it. So, all right, I am going to wait until Sarissa gets back because I see that she just stepped away. So let me wait for her to get back, and we'll start the role playing aspects, and then that will be it for the evening. Go right ahead. That's fine. Okay. And then once Josh gets back, we'll resume and do our role playing section. Yep. It's like Sarissa stepped away. I do. It's kind of like, well, right now I mean a little bit. It's like dungeon depths, so it's kind of like, okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. So let me activate the uh scene for the role playing section. So, I guess let me know if you hear the sound of like a campfire, not a campfire, but like a yeah. It creates the scenery of it, so it gives you at least some scene, but at the same time you don't have to worry about like is this going to turn into a combat encounter or what? It's just it creates ambiance. It's nice. So, I don't know if you'll hear the background music of my tavern playing. Um, like I don't know, yeah, which I have. So, like I even have like I had like fun whimsical music ones, and they're gonna play songs, and makes me sad that they don't work. So, um, yeah. So this is the Tithwater Cavern. So the Tithwater Cavern is in the Estoyan Empire in a town known as Lunsk. Lunsk is kind of considered a backwater mercantile like waterway town where shipping is like the primary form of commerce. It is a also adjacent to an area of forest known as the Stillborn Forest. Um, that is a kind of dangerous area. Not many people go in there. Some people try to go in there for lumber, but sometimes they don't always come out. Each of you are pretty much sitting in your respectable tables. Two of you are sitting together as you are related, so you're likely going to be sitting with one another. The rest of you are just kind of off on your own. The tavern itself is not super populated. Like I said, it's kind of late in the evening. It's the time actually kind of reflects about the time in game, so it's just a little bit before 2 o'clock at night, or 2 in the morning. So it's late. There's not nearly as many people in the tavern. Most people have either left to go home or they're going to sleep one off for the evening. uh, as you're sitting at your respectable tables, you eventually see this old man start making his way to you. Here's a look of this old man. I'm going to send it out to you for you to see what he looks like. So uh, this is the old man that walks up to you. Um, he's so you do not see the picture. Okay. Okay, so let me see this. So how about that? Now I can see it. Okay, okay, that's how I have to. Okay, I just have to click that eye. Okay, all right, good to know. So this old man, he's in some pretty nice robes. They look. He looks very well dressed. He is a little slow. He's kind of like shuffling around the room. He's kind of like looking at all the different people that are still patrons. The few remaining people, and he slowly starts making his way to each of you, and he'll kind of walk up to each one of you, and he's just like, "Hello there. Might I buy you a drink?" And he walks up to Alvin initially. That is perfectly fine. Alvin, are you there? Okay, so you're good. So he initially walks up to you, and he offers to buy you a drink. Well, you don't seem to be a child. You, not many children wear armor like yourself. Well, we see all kinds in a place like this. I don't judge. Well, I have a proposition for you if you'd be interested. Well, if you're interested, meet me over there at that table, and he'll kind of gesture over to this table over here, and he'll order. He'll kind of motion towards the bartender to like get you a drink and have it taken over to that table. Oh, yes, quite well. It does. Well, thank you. I'll see you shortly. Give me just a moment. And he starts, making his way across the bar, and he looks up to the two young ladies sitting over at the table by themselves, and is hello there, you ladies. How are you this fine evening? Hmm. I see you there a little bit thirsty. Would you mind if I buy you another? Negative. You did see him walk over toward Alvin, but you wouldn't be able to really hear him talking. Distance wise, you were probably like maybe 35 feet away in terms of just the scale of the bar. So it's like you could definitely see him walk over there because I mean, just kind of stand out. And then, but you definitely saw him to that kind of little guy and then talking to him. Oh, well, blunt and to the point. I like that. Well, I have a job. I'd be curious to see if you would be interested in partaking. Well, it pays quite well. I mean, if you're interested, meet me over there by that table here in a moment, and I'll be there to just discuss the details. No. So there's a nice module in this called Polyglot. If you type something in a language only you can understand, it garbles it for everyone else. They can't see it. Yep. So in the chat window where you see the languages, if you see it have a Dropbox, it'll say like common and everything else that you speak. If you can change it to whatever type of language you know, and then when you type, it'll only show you, like that. So if anyone can speak that, they can see it, but anybody else will have no idea what you said. And um, he'll you know thank you, and he'll gesture to the bartender to send over a drink to you in a moment. So the old man will eventually make his way over to Anchi in the corner, and he'll look over at Anchi and he kind of looks her up and down. He was just like, "Well, dear, I'm sure that I may look like I might be an easy mark, but I assure you, what I have would be much more promising than anything that might be in my pockets." Well, more of a quest, if you want to put it in such layman's terms. If he'd be so kind to hear me my offer, I'm sure it might be worth your while. Oh, most definitely. Well, if you can, meet me over in that table. I'll be over there shortly, and we can discuss further. And then he'll kind of meander his way kind of around the tables and start get ready to begin to sit down. He'll slowly kind of climb into the table, and as he does, uh, the room. Where's my thingy? I think it's this one. Yeah. So as he climbs up into the chair and and gets ready to have a seat, he kind of sits at that seat at the end of the table. Um, you see this person basically just like appear out of almost nowhere, and just kind of blip into the center of the room that was not there a moment ago. And then it's like as he's standing there, he kind of like almost like phases out again, and then it's like a couple seconds to go by, and then he like kind of phases back again. Excellent. Definitely, yep, definitely catch the drink that was thrown at your direction. And the old man is like, yes, come have a seat. We can discuss further. You look like you could use one. So the old man, he'll kind of gesture towards the bartender again to kind of like point towards his direction to get one more. So the old man, he kind of like looks at the lot of you kind of sitting at the table, and he's like, well, I guess this will do fine. Well, let's just say I understand. And so he's like, well, I believe I can make that uh, arrange. I can arrange that. And so the old man, he'll kind of like reach out from like under his robes, and he pulls out this pretty much gigantic bag of gold and just plops it onto the table, and it makes a pretty good loud thump. And yeah, that's a fail from that dog. Um, So the guy pretty much firmly has his hand like almost white knuckle in the bag. Um, this here's 2,000 gold pieces. So he kind of like looks and sees the surprise and shock of everyone's face, and it's just like, I assume I have your attention now. Well, as I was saying, I have a job for you all. It might require all of you, just in case, but we'll see. Well, I am in need of a particular item, uh, a relic, if you will. Um, it's a small uh, headpiece. It it was actually belonged to a very powerful lich a long time ago. It's a circlet that one could wear upon their head. Uh, I believe that this it might have been the leech's phylactery at some point. I cannot be so sure, but apparently that's what the legends say. Uh, yeah, yeah. Past tense, yes. Oh, yes, yes. Lich is long gone. Well, this one is long dead. It's unfortunately been well regarded in history. He would have been a very fascinating person to meet. I would have loved having a conversation with him. There is a lot of lore involving liches and just the undead in the Estoian Empire, and especially in long ago in history, they were revered very highly. Like liches were like bishops and like popes and stuff. Like they were like very regarded and like high standing. Uh, Correct. They were like purveyors of the ancient Estoian histories that are taught in schools. The former generation, the ones that actually kind of got ate up through that like fissure and stuff that I was talking about, how everything was living underground. They actually revered the dead. Like they didn't see death as a punishment or a like negative. It was death was just part of life, and so the buildings and architecture and everything actually were decorated and used like skeleton parts like skulls, bones, and things like that, actually ornated like all of society, like they everybody, like a king's bones were no different than a commoner's bones. In death everyone's equal. So you know the liches were like a big proponent of that, like this society and their religion. So lit yeah. So like the liches of that time were very highly regarded, and so death wasn't a bad thing. Like death was just part of life. It was just part of the cycle, and in death, your bones would be used to decorate artwork in the future. So everyone felt like you were part of the community and part of like life and advancement of society. So this old man, is a bit of a collector. He is very fascinated with this former civilization. He is very obsessed with any historical items that he can find from the past, because some of it's valuable, some of it's just trinkets, and some of it's just collectors. He himself is too old and feeble to be able to get something like this on himself, so he needs some capable people to do it for him. That's why he's offering you the money. Um, so he refers to the Lich's name as Valdemir. More of a history in that one. That name does sound familiar. Like, it does sound familiar in regards that there was a lich that went by that name. Yeah. I mean, it's not like you're like, man, let me like look research and liches, and like let me like know everything about them, and just in your tender age you've heard the name before and that person was a lich. So, but that name sounds familiar. Correct. Can confirm. But the circlet that I'm looking for, I at least do know its location. It's in a old mausoleum known as the Penumbral Vestibule. I can. He'll give you a pretty apt description of a old mausoleum that has, a ornately designed sun on the door. The mausoleums, all the architecture and things like that, have like a bone kind of structure and color, and then all of it has like skeletons and stuff, kind of like that. So it kind of looks like this. Yeah. 219. But if this is something you'd be interested in, this this mausoleum, at least at one time, it was part of the old civilization known as the Necropolis. Uh, I mean, unfortunately, I mean, I don't know much about the mausoleum's layout or anything. I mean, you're the adventurers after all. I mean, if I knew these things, I would just get it myself. But I mean, uh, not to my knowledge. I don't really know of anyone else that knows about this more than myself. I mean, it is a possibility. Like I said, I've never been there. So it's well, why not you? Or do you not feel that you're capable? I mean, if you don't want my money, I mean, I can go find someone else. Uh, this is the first. This is the he'll say to you that this is the first time that he's offered this quest to anyone. Do an insight check. Go right ahead. Go right ahead. He is completely honest. He is telling the truth. He is no showing no signs of inklings that he is being he's trying to tell a lie. Well, so he'll kind of look at you and he's just like, well, over the nights I've been. Yeah. So he'll look at you and he'll individually say why he thinks that you would be well suited for the job. He says that throughout the evening, he's been watching you. He's seen how you and she have been pretty much watching everyone as they've come in and pretty much looking like you're sizing them up for them to be whether or not they're an easy mark. He's seen the two girls sitting at the table. He saw Sarissa writing in her book and just like looking around and like making observations and kind of sketching things down. When he walked up to her, he able to kind of got a glimpse, at least briefly, of her journal and her kind of taking notes on things. Um, Sir, Nimia, saw that you were pretty much sizing people up in the sense of like looking people over like yeah I can take that person or you know not giving off the aura that like you couldn't take care of yourself. The one guy who just teleported in, he just finds interesting because that's just kind of abnormal that a person just kind of pops into existence like that. And then Alvin, he saw that even though you are, the a Weshel kind, and that you stand out so much that you're not afraid to actually put yourself in situations where you could be ostracized or poked fun at, and that you had like a sense of you that like you'd beat the shit out of anything that if they came up to you and started like poking fun at you or like, oh do a trick like that, you'd probably cut them. Like he just gave off this aura of like don't fuck with me. But he gives you an explanation of why he feels like you're capable. Like he's been watching. He hasn't just been, you know, and he does appear to be genuine in his reply of why he thinks that you'd be capable. Well, I mean, he's watched you for several hours, so it's not just that. It's your mannerisms and like how you carry yourself. You can tell a lot by people watching. So, but he offers you further detail of where to find it. It's a scout out in what was that? Okay. But he's if he says it, or if these terms are agreeable, um all he wants is the circlet. He says if there's anything else you find in the mausoleum, you're more happy to take it. He doesn't care. All he wants is the circlet. um he describes the circlet as a where is it at for my description of it? um It is it's golden. It's kind of tarnished looking, and it should be set with a cracked pear dot, so like a green gemstone. Well, in the event of something like that, I believe I can offer you at least 100 gold pieces each if you're not able to retrieve it. Yeah, so it's kind of like, yeah, I'll give you this much. It's like for at least taking upon it. But if you are able to actually acquire it, bring it back to me, I'll give you this full amount. Yeah. Uh, that one didn't land. It wasn't as persuasive as you would need to be to eke out another, you know, 200 gold pieces. So he's just like, I believe that could be agreeable. I can do this. Um, and he'll give you all a down payment of 1,000 gold pieces. Let me see, 100. So split between you each get about 200 each. So so you've each had a 200 yeah, you've had a 200 gold pieces added to you. Yeah. I would hope so. I mean, that is a lot of money I just gave you. So, he will provide you with a map of the general location of the area of the penumbral vestibule, and I will send that out so y'all can see it. Okay. All right. Save. Okay. So, let me edit this one, rename it Stoya. Okay. All right. Let me delete this one. Yep. And so, right here is the map of Astoria. So for one of you, this map should probably be a little disheartening because you're just like, I don't know what the hell this is. So you are currently located in Lunsk. So right there, just below where it says Stillborn Forest, so kind of in the southwest of the map. Yep. So you're currently in Lunsk, and he says that um, the penumbral vestibule is up towards just to the east of the Barrowful Mines in the woods right there where it kind of like curves and makes kind of like a C shape. Right there in the woods is where the penumbral vestibule is. He said that like on foot it'll take you a couple days. He says that like the closer you get, it starts kind of get like marshy, kind of dense uh, terrain, so it might be a little harder to traverse. But he said, like, realistically, it should maybe take you like close to a week to get there. He says that, I mean, what you would expect, probably like wolves and other things, but I mean, other than that, probably nothing too crazy. Nothing that he's been ever concerned about, but like he said, he's never been there, so he couldn't really tell you too much about, animal life directly around the surrounding vestibule. So, but yeah, that's the information he provides you. Well, that's all one can ask for. I wish you all the best of luck, and I'll uh, I'll be around town in Lund. I'll come back here each night to see if you return. Hopefully you do. I really want this item, and I'll be more than happy to pay you the remainder sum once you return. Yeah. But other than that, so the old man, he'll kind of slowly get up from the chair, and it's like well, until then, if you need me, just ask for the Nightseer Sage. Okay, sounds fine. Okay. Yes. Uh, yeah. So he looks like this. Yeah. This is when he appears in public, he looks like this kid that's sitting at the table with you. That would be correct. So they typically create a new doll. The doll is however old the doll is brand new. It replaces the child that it takes, and then so from say it's year 100, from year 100 you're 0 years old, and then you just age like normal. But the kid who gets taken into the Feywild, typically you don't know what happens to said kid, but since you're basically a placeholder, and after the glamour eventually wears off, the parents of said child that is now missing see that you are not in fact their child, and that you are now a Weshelkind, and proceed to typically do what your family does to you, and usually get rid of you. Very rarely do they go like, "Oh, hey, well, you're the closest thing to my kid. I'm going to keep you." Normally, it's like, "What'd you do to my kid? You're a monster. Leave my sight, or I'll burn you." But yeah, you're just a continuously a reminder of that my child is gone and they were replaced by this animaton. Gotcha. Well, in character, he probably would not divulge that much info, but I also know you've never really dealt with the Western kind all that much, especially since you learned about this today. So Okay. So, after this, it's almost 3 in the morning. At that point, y'all could, you know, make your own sleeping arrangements. In the morning, you could make your necessary preparations for heading towards the penumbral vestibule. Like I said, it'll take you like a week-long journey, and um, okay, yeah, yeah. Yeah, but that is pretty much it. And so what I will do, I will come up with a list of items that you can purchase with your 200 gold pieces that you acquired. Um, and you can, before we play, um, I'll divvy up the appropriate amount of items per the goal that you have, and then that way you'll have it available for when you play next week. So, but yep, that's it. Yeah. So, alrighty. Well, that's it. Like I said, it's a good fun start. Like I said, we'll have many more opportunities to have some role playing things like this. So, hope it's a nice change of pace. Until then, yep. All right. Well, y'all have a good night. Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. Well, y'all have a good night.